Alright guys, we're back with Addie. Remember, we're working on the down, even though we're still working on the heel too, you guys. We're still working on defining the heel, moving into refining the heel. Now we're defining down, we're kind of starting to refine that too. So I mean, if at home you don't really necessarily have to move along at this pace, but you know, you need to get to the point where you can make the dog down with the collar. That needs to be the goal. Not that it will do it without the collar, not that it loves you so much, it just does whatever you say. We want to choreograph that behavior. And Newsom's, I will tell you, she is the worst jumper we've ever seen. Anyone new comes, she starts jumping on them immediately. It's her modus operandi. So we're going to, when Christy comes, we're going to let Addie run over there, and then I'm going to show you how to kind of resolve that at home. So anyway, we're working on choreographing the down, though, you guys. We want to be able to use the collar to reinforce that, and even to be able to get kids to do it. We're using an exaggerated foot signal. No. And we're going to have kids, you know, stomp your foot. That's going to mean down. That's going to help the dog understand the child is not your litter mate. We should have all the neighborhood kids doing it. Anyway, let's just take her up and back. So we're working on two things now. We're working on her heel, and we're working on our getting the dog to drop with the collar and to stay there. So you see, we've progressed to the point I don't have to have my leash on there all the time, but I'm definitely posturing, keeping my finger on one of the buttons at all times, you guys. That way, when you know you get distracted, you can just hit it real quickly. Addie, heel. So we're always going to have our pager on that turn away. Heel. Down. And so what we really want is, once we say down, that there's no more forward motion. But I'm giving a lot of cues that that's what I'm getting ready to do. I mean, we want the dog, you know, if you have a dog that starts anticipating what you're doing, that's what you want. Okay. And heel. So I'm already thinking about it, and I can use a low nick proactively too. Down, wonderful. Good girl. And even though I'm not keeping my foot on there, you see I'm keeping the leash down there like that. You know what we don't want to do? We're going to have a whole video on that one day, you guys, of all the ways not to hold the leash. We've had people you just had to pry, they just have it wrapped around. That's not good. The leash is just an extension of you, so you have to posture with the leash too, you guys. Alright, so remember, I'm going to start it slightly before. I'm going to say all these things, then I'm going to do it. Addie, heel. See how I wasn't in a hurry to take off, you guys. Wonderful. Down. Okay, so she was kind of slow that time, so this time I'm gonna go back to using my nick proactively. Nothing to do with what just happened, just a proactive down. So I coordinated the nick with the pressure on the leash. Good girl. Wonderful. Wonderful. You notice, you guys, I'm still keeping the leash down there. That's all posturing. Good. Good girl. I'm not bending down at all to say down. If I have to do anything, I'm putting my foot on there. Good girl. Alright, so then the next thing we're doing is we're getting them to go in the bed. So you're going to have the bed, you're going to have the leash tied to something. I can't stress this enough, guys. If you don't have two leashes, it's going to be a lot harder. Addie, in your place. Good. Down. I will tell you guys, that's a normal response. They don't want to get up on there. Good girl. Good girl. So you saw I didn't give up, and when I was pulling on the leash, the box was more towards the back of her neck, I think. I'll look on the replay. But then I'm using the collar. I'm forcing her forward, and the nick is going at the back of the neck, so good girl. Good girl. But this This is why you have to have this. If we have a dog that keeps getting out of there and we have to keep putting it back in there like that, we're going to be exhausted. Good girl. Good girl. Wonderful. Wonderful. So then you're just going to reward the dog there. All right, guys, I got to go work on this some more. More updates soon. See ya.